everybody, and welcome to the Quilt Show. Today's guest is going to show us why sashing is sexy and flange bindings and circles simplified. Stay tuned, we're going to have a lot of fun. It's a new day for quilting with your co-hosts on the Quilt Show, Alex Anderson and Ricky Timms.
Welcome to the Quilt Show, everyone. We're so glad you're joining us today. We have a lot of really great things for you. But up top, Ricky has come up with a new binding technique.
Well, actually, it's a variation on a binding technique that I love, but I'm constantly trying to, I want to say reinvent the wheel in this case, because I am constantly trying to come up with ways to do my machine finished binding in different ways. And I did.
And it's the what if. What if?
What if, what if? Let's start by just pointing out this quilt. Now, this quilt that I have here is one that I've done. It's called Afternoon Delight. Isn't that clever? Because those are asters.
And it's a photo print that you've just gone crazy with the quilting.
Absolutely. Yeah. But the idea is this binding that I've got. This is my piped binding. It's extremely tiny piping, and I teach this on my Grand Finale DVD, which is often available on our Quilt Show site. And if you want to own one, you could get it from the Ricky Timms store.
Okay.
But it's taking this finished machine binding with the piping to a different situation. So on this quilt, I've done the same kind of binding, and what looks like, as a matter of fact, you thought it was a flange.
I thought it was a flange, and flange usually flops there.
Right, and this one doesn't flop. You can see I can get in there, but it's not flopping around.
Right.
And one of the things about the flange is that if you do move the quilts around, it can kind of get distorted. It'll crinkle, it'll fold over itself.
Yes, it can.
And it loses its charm over time, so that's why this one's stitched down. But this is not a flange that is put on the quilt, because oftentimes if you see one at the binding, someone has folded a piece of fabric, they put it in, and then you bind the quilt.
That's how I do it,
okay?
yeah.
This one, the flange is put on the binding. It's not part of the quilt. It's part of the binding, and that's what I'm going to share.
But more importantly, there's no hand sewing.
Right, and you know what? I like hand sewing when it's the right thing to do, but I love my machine finished bindings. So what I've done is to prepare all of the sides of your quilt, your binding strips are going to be cut 3 1/4 inches wide.
That seems big.
They're overcut by 1/4 inch because it gives us a fudge factor for later. You'll see that in a moment. So 3 1/4 inches wide. They need to extend each side of the quilt. So you can see this one's going off about 2 1/2 inches on each end. Sometimes I might even prefer 3 or 3 1/2.
So does it go off about what the same width is?
No, not even. I mean, it could be 6 inches. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It just needs to be longer. And if it's any shorter than this, it's going to get too fussy.
That's my question. Yeah.
If it's any shorter than this, it's going to be too fussy. And you can see for this one, it's plenty big for this side here. You just need 4 because you got 4 sides of your quilts. And you need 1 inch, what will become this inset flange.
Okay.
1 inch, however long you need them. You can see I've cut this much longer than I needed, and this needs to get pressed in half. And I felt that I would go ahead and show you how I press it in half by folding it perfectly, getting the iron on it, and then as I go, I'm just using my thumb. See how I'm doing that?
Right.
To get that perfectly aligned. And in the event that this is not absolutely folded perfectly in half, no big deal. No big deal at all, as you will soon see.
Okay.
All right, now that's my 1 inch folded in half. I'm going to take my binding strip. I'm also going to fold it in half because I need a guide. And it is the crease that I'm creating that's going to be my guide. Now, here's what I want to happen, and I'll go to the machine, but let me show you here. You can see the crease.
Right.
All right. I want this to essentially split that and sew that down the middle. That's what I want to do.
Would you ever consider a bias strip on this for either this, or probably not?
I would not do bias on either one of these because it's not necessary. As a matter of fact, I would prefer to do straight of grain lengthwise
for
because
zero
that is
stretch.
For zero stretch, whatever. All right, now let's come to the machine and I'll show you what I've got set up over here. I have a straight stitch and I have moved my needle you know, you have to experiment with this. In this case, I think I moved it 2, it might have been 3 notches to the left. But more importantly, I've got my fold on the left side of my foot. That's not a side that we use as a guide very often. So it's the left side I'm going to pay attention to. And as I lift this up and look at my crease, I lay this down so I'm splitting the difference. And as I sew, my consistency is going to happen with the left side of the foot staying on the red fold of the flange.
Would you ever consider gluing it? Lightly gluing it?
You could, but that's just extra time I don't need.
Okay, okay.
I use, because remember I told you I already built in a fudge factor.
Okay.
So now I'm going to take this, I'm going to fold this in half and press. And I like to press with this little, you see how I'm doing that motion? To make sure that that is totally pulled away.
Yeah, you are like
from that
pushing
stitching.
it out, yeah.
And if I missed stitching down the middle, we might, look at this on the back side.
Yeah, right
See?
there.
It's not folded perfectly. Can you see that's not perfectly aligned?
Here, the camera's getting in right now.
Yeah, that looks,
Okay.
yeah. So you can see it's not perfectly down the middle, but I built in that fudge factor. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to take my ruler and I'm going to cut an exact 1.5 inches from, let me point it out.
Yeah, where?
From the ditch.
Okay.
From where the red touches the gray in this case.
Okay.
And my strip, can you see that it's not perfectly straight? It's kind of arching a little bit. Well, you could sit there and you could sit there and fuss and try to pull it to get it straight for your ruler, or you could do what Ricky does. Which is what, look where I've got my 1.5 inches. I'm gonna start cutting. And as I go, okay, it's all good still up to here, but now it's starting to get wonky.
Right.
So I just leave my rotary cutter down and pivot. See what I did? Now I can slide up. As long as I leave my rotary cutter, I can come up.
I can't believe you do that. I would have guessed you to fuss about it and get it straight with starch or whatever.
No, because I don't need the binding to be straight. I need my cut to be straight.
Okay.
And so even though I was kind of rotating the ruler as I went, I had my 1.5 inch line on my red every time.
So you know it's okay.
Yeah, so now I have an absolute perfect 1.5 inch piece of binding, and I do this 4 times. I'm gonna go ahead and just get rid of that little tail that's up there. So now to put this on the quilt, let me come over to a piece that's finished for a second. I wanna let you know what my goal is here, because I need to sew the seam allowance, and this binding that I've just created is going to go, get this, on the back of the quilt. Normally, we put a binding on the front and turn it to the back to finish.
Right. I'm
going just the opposite. It's going to go on the back of the quilt and go to the front. So I will first start with a basting stitch, and I will move my needle to what I think is right. Here's what the goal is for their seam allowance, because there's no measurement. I want it to be stitched down, go over and to the front, so that my stitching that I just created, the stitching that is on the flange just goes beyond the stitching that I sewed it on.
Did you do a little practice deal like this before you did this?
I always just test my seam allowance. So that's the goal, is that it folds over to the right distance.
Got it.
So if my needle needs to be moved one way or the other, that's what I do. So there's no measurement for that. Now, when I've determined what that measurement is, getting that on the back of the quilt, you're like, well, I don't even know what the measurement is, so how do I know where to actually start? I'm going to take my binding and fold it. Sorry, I got little strings that are like messing with my brain right now. Let's fix those. I'm going to fold this at a 45-degree angle, and I'm going to finger press it as strongly as I can.
This is before you sew it on.
Yeah, I'm about to show you how I get it positioned. So now I want where this crease comes off, I want that to be right at the corner of my quilt that I've squared up. And once I've determined whatever my seam allowance is, whatever that distance is, I will start in the crease.
Got it.
So I don't have to measure that. When I get to the bottom of this, I get near the end, I will fold this again up at a 45-degree angle, finger press it, open it up, and then I will finish stitching and backstitch in
right,
that crease.
right.
So it's not the 1/4 inch that we're used to. It's whatever this needs to be for
to cover over the
to cover over to the front. All right. So now I've got this stitched together, and when you do all 4 of these corners, this is what should be happening. This tail and this tail should be meeting right in the center.
No overstitching.
You don't want to overstitch. And I'm okay with having this one little stitch gap, but I don't want it to overstitch.
Right.
All right?
Because it won't do that.
And both of these are backstitched, so they're going to be nice and snug. Now you're going to take your tails like many people do on a typical miter. You know to pull the tails on top of each other. This is going to take a little wrestling here. Pull the quilt up at a 45-degree angle, all right? And lay it on your mat. So now you can see the quilt is going up at a 45. My 2 bindings are laying on top of each other exactly. My goal now, and I've already marked it, but I want you to see what the goal is. My goal is to make a 90-degree mark that starts at the stitch where I backstitched. It comes to the center of this binding and then comes off the edge.
And this dandy little tool is how you do this, right?
Well, I'm going to say you could use one of your regular rulers with a 45-degree angle and figure it out, but I find it cumbersome.
You love this.
Well, I'm not a gadget guy.
I know.
But this is a gadget that I cannot live without. This is the Jackie Robinson Animus Quilts Publishing binding miter tool. So if I lay this on so that I have, I'm going to point with this guy. This is parallel. It's not on, it's parallel. Can you see that it's not on the edge? But it's parallel. I make sure that I'm ever so slightly tucked in from that last stitch because I know that the width of my pen is going to scoot out.
Well, you want exactly, right?
And I want to mark that angle.
Okay.
Are you with me?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Once I come, now I take this to the machine. I'm going to turn this to the camera because I want you to know inside here, I really want these guys to perfectly match right there.
Okay.
I go to the machine. I will stitch, backstitch, off, backstitch. I will trim that.
Well, let's do it.
I'll even trim the edge. And I've got one, see, already done.
Oh, okay, cool.
See, yeah, we get to jump forward.
Nothing like being prepared, right?
So here it is, stitched and trimmed. And now you use, I love this. Tell me, this is the R&K.
R&K turning tool.
Turning tool, yeah. And you just push it in there. And my seams are open. I push that to the front side, and this will turn now to the front side. And look at that amazing corner. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm telling you, this is fabulous. So now, once I've done all 4 corners, I'm going to come in with my in the ditch foot, and I'm going to stitch right in the ditch. You see that? All right. Now, flip it over because we got to get tight on this. I want you to see how absolutely just inside that is. I am not jumping up on the binding. I am staying right in the ditch. Now, I've gone all the way around the quilt doing that, so it is secure with a floppy flange. And that's fine.
You can leave it.
But I chose to go ahead and take it one step further. I'm going to go over to my single blanket stitch, which in this case I have reversed because it usually jumps to the left.
Right, right.
And I want this one to jump to the right.
You could use any decorative stitch, though, really.
And then just off you go. And Alex, let's show them the finished one on the real quilt. Let's go back to that.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
We'll get in there and just look at how that came together. And in this case, you were asking me before, why did I go bigger? Because I felt that in this particular quilt, a teeny, teeny, tiny red piping like I would normally do wouldn't give it the punch or the impact that I wanted. So there you go.
Yay,
That's my binding. No handwork.
Well, you wowed me again. I'm going to try that, okay? And I got to get that tool, too.
Well, we're going to have to sashay into the next segment.
Right, because you will not believe what you can do with sashing. 1-inch sashing. Stick around. everyone. If you like quilting design, well, who doesn't, right?
Absolutely. Well,
I mean, come on. This show is for you, and our next guest is for you.
absolutely. You know, we talk about the various spaces on our quilts, what to do here, what to do there. Today, we're going to learn a lot of fun. And our guest that's going to teach us all that is Sue Heinz. Welcome to the Quilt Show, Sue.
Hi, Sue. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Sit
Well,
down.
I'm really excited about what you're going to teach later, but we're going to get to know you first. And that's what I want to do, is just kind of get to know you and the quilts that you've made.
Wonderful.
When did you start quilting? About what year?
Well, in the 80s,
So you've seen a lot, right?
a lot of change.
And then when you quilt, is it hand? Is it domestic? Is it long arm? Is it all of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I
love
started
that.
hand by hand because in the 80s, that's all
That's
we knew
right.
how to do. But I'm proficient at both domestic and long arm.
Nice.
That's great.
And I will say, when I teach a class, I say, how many of you know about quilting design? Who has it nailed?
Well, yeah.
You know?
I think it's one of those big fear factors. It's like, oh, make my quilt top. I've done my applique. I've pieced together the top, and then there's this screeching halt. Where do I go to?
Quilt as desired.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And you even have it where you know what to do with a 1-inch square, but
We'll get there.
We'll get there. So
Let's take a look at these first two blue quilts with the beautiful white stitching. Just talk about those for a second.
Well, those are class samples. They come from my second book, Sashing, Medallions, and Wreaths. They're born of circles. Circles are not difficult, because what I did was make them into grids. And so more to follow. So we'll just call it that.
So if
Okay.
I took your class, would I do like one of those panels type thing? Would I be?
Oh, heck no.
Oh. What would I do besides sit in the corner?
You spoke a bad thing by
Oh,
saying panels.
Oh, okay, but would I?
These are all free motion,
Okay.
original designs.
No, that's what I mean though. But would I sew one of those in your class?
Would you make one of those
You
three?
would draw one of those in my class.
Okay, all right. Well,
Because we're getting muscle memory first before you
Okay.
go on the machine.
Okay.
And I was
cool.
going to say, I don't even want to call them class samples because they're like little masterpieces, to be honest.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The difference between those two panels is one has corners, one does not. Because the comment I get from, I'll use the quilter voice. Well, you know, what do I do with circles? You know, I have blocks on my quilts. So,
Yeah,
Job well done right there.
yeah, very good.
so what I did was...
I know that person.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
I love the dragonfly. Tell
Yeah.
us about this.
The Dragonfly, the pattern is by Jean and Valerie Wells from a book by them. And it was done on my domestic machine. And it's just simply stunning.
I love their style. Their style, they nail it every time, right?
And I added a little something to the eye on that one. I actually put in some mesh to make it a little bit more buggy.
Oh, look at that. That's great.
That's
It is
great.
buggy. Well, now the next quilt really, what you want to share with this is the quilting. I mean, that's the big deal on this next one.
Yes,
Tell us about
the
that.
pattern, by the way, is by Deb Karasik. It is created and made by her. I borrowed it from for this show. But the quilting, the small box that I put myself in for this one is, could I actually make an entire quilt out of one small shape? So hopefully it's black on black, but it actually became the catalyst for my fourth book. So I'll be featuring the thought process behind that in the drawing section.
Okay, cool. This next one really speaks to me.
And there's a long history with this,
Yeah.
right?
And actually, Ricky, we were talking a little bit about this. This is 16 years in the making.
What?
This is for my daughter when she was a sophomore in high school. She's now 31 years old, and it was finished last week.
Yay,
Nothing like a
it's
deadline,
finished.
right?
Nothing like a deadline.
But you know what? I want to say, for it being started that long ago, that was very, very innovative, I feel. Don't you, Ricky?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it was a learning quilt. I didn't know a thing about hand dyes and color setting or not. I didn't know a thing about pieced circles. These are 4-inch finished blocks.
Wow.
And each block that is circular is 2 finished circles every 4 inches.
Wow.
So
You're a glutton for something. I don't know.
I want to talk about this quilt because is this your roots?
This is my roots. My mother was a wonderful seamstress. I'm tall. She made all my clothing growing up. And when she passed away, I knew nothing about sewing, nothing. Didn't even know what a salvage was. So what I do is I tell my students, hey, I understand where you came from because I didn't know anything. And after she passed away, a friend of mine invited me to a quilting class, and I went, quilts, flat. I can do flat.
Yeah,
That's
flat,
kind of how I
that's
feel. There's
easy.
nothing other. But the instructor was a drill sergeant, and all of a sudden the room started erupting with ripping. Everybody was ripping fabric, so I went, okay. And I ripped, I now know what they were doing, but I cross-grain ripped. And the teacher, boom, 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 walked over and went, what are you doing? It's like, I'm ripping fabric, And so I was the class idiot, for the rest of the class.
I don't know I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get what you were doing wrong.
I would rip, everybody was straightening out their fabric, but I ripped the wrong way because I didn't know what a salvage.
You went down the selvage.
I
got it. Okay.
And they say, you ripping it. I didn't even know what a salvage was. So
Okay, I got it.
She
Yeah,
was
I know
speaking a foreign language. Anyway, this is all hand pieced.
Really?
Well, this is in the 80s.
Yeah.
Hand quilted. It's square.
Yeah.
It's a miracle.
Congratulations.
It hangs-
My first quilt doesn't look anything like
Well,
this.
she was a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
And then this is where I am today.
Here, why don't you put those over on that chair right there?
Okay.
Yeah. You've
Look
come a
at
long way,
this.
baby.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Yeah, here we go.
You wanna have it up?
That's
Wow.
okay, I was going to say that's the wrong side. It looks the same both sides.
Yeah, but it's the right
No,
side
you got
because there's a sleeve on the back
I
side.
know.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what
And this
you do
is the
now.
cover of my third book.
Beautiful.
And one of the things we're going to be talking about is quilting in small spaces, like 1-inch sashings and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
you think
because
sash-
those are beautiful little playgrounds to quilt in, and we just don't know how to do it. But you're going to teach us how, right?
Yes, I am.
All right, Alex, you're going to be up at bat after the break.
I can't wait.
Don't go anywhere, everyone.
Welcome back, everyone. Sue, you really are a master at quilting designs, and you're going to just start with one simple shape and, well, take it on a journey, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So tell us about this shape.
Well, what's wonderful about this shape and one other in the last book that I created is you can actually fill up an entire quilt, but the learning curve is this small. Do you think you can do it?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. So here we're going to take this and we're going to take it through different cartwheels, right?
Absolutely.
Different
Absolutely.
gymnastics.
But first, I want to uneducate you.
Okay.
And maybe others that are watching, because I think that we've been all doing sashing incorrectly. And let me just point out something. Sashing, the word, we have two words for two different things. Sashing is a word that we use for piecing.
Right, a pieced in sashing.
Correct. And then we quilters also use that same word for designs that we put in that
So it could be
piece strip.
It could also be a whole cloth quilt and have a sashing in it.
Right. But
Okay.
what I'm talking about here, just to be clear,
Okay.
is the linear design that we put within that strip
That pieced
of
unit.
sashing.
Okay, gotcha.
So, and a lot of us quilters shy away from putting anything because
I agree.
what do you do in an inch?
Right.
So, and we've learned that through osmosis, and a lot of us just have two designs, and it was like, we got two, we got variety, we got enough. So, here's how we typically start off with sashing. I call it spaghetti.
Okay.
We go like this, little S curve into our shape. We'll call this the actual design, and this is the running start.
Okay.
So this is the spaghetti. Here's our design. And then, we'll do another spaghetti, and here's the design. And a lot of times it's like, where is that corner? Gee, the corner should have been there a mile ago. Where is it? And then and then it's like, whoa, that corner just kind of came up.
Where'd you come from?
And it's because this is hard to space, right?
Right.
Spaghetti is just weird. But we've never been taught anything different because nobody talks about sashing. Okay?
Okay, so you have a better idea. Using this shape here, right?
Any time you do sashing, I want you to knock out the spaghetti. This is a teachable moment here. And this is as mathy as I'm going to get. If this is a 90-degree corner, this is 45. I want you to drop the spaghetti and now do 45 because this is a mathematical genius. This is a defined length now, so your spacing will always be the same. 45 degree, and now I'm going to do this shape again. Ride this line here, 45 degrees. So these are now parallel. 45. 45.
And it's easier to space, or do you figure out the measurement here and then you know that's what to do
It does the measurement automatically.
Get out of here, really?
I know.
What?
So what would you rather have on your quilt? This that's consistent or spaghetti? So now if you have something to put in the middle here, it'll always be consistent. So that's my teachable moment and it's awesome. So now we're going to use this shape. We're going to always do 45.
Okay.
And life will be wonderful from there on in.
There we go.
So now I'm going to take this shape. All right, so now you know, well, let's just do this shape real quick and show you a line of this shape. So 45. So that's the shape, right?
Okay, right.
If you live on the East Coast and you put a dot, now you got a puffin. Okay? So that's our shape. So now we're going to do a block out of this shape, okay? Okay, so there's the shape, right? Come back on it like this.
Okay. And you're not having to start.
All right. Break thread.
Okay.
I know I said a bad word.
Okay.
You can break thread.
Okay.
And live to tell the tale. Okay.
Wow.
But it's the same shape, right? So now you have a block design.
Beautiful.
Okay. Want more? Want more?
Yeah.
Okay,
of
that was
course.
the correct answer. Okay, so now when you first start to do a grid design, you may want to just put a dot as an alignment. Now, this would all be pre-marked on your quilt.
Oh, like with a chalk or something like that?
Chalk or anything removable.
Right.
So use that as your guide for this hook. Come on down. So that's your shape, right?
Okay.
This is why I teach drawing classes, because I want it to get into your head here firmly before you go to your machine. Okay? So
I think you've done this once or twice before.
But it's in my head.
It's wonderful.
So now, you know, grid goes on in nauseam. And then when you do a grid design, typically your second line starts with this shape here.
Okay, every other?
So
okay.
It starts here.
All right. Oh, beautiful.
So now we've done the block design here. So now, okay, so we've done a singular line. We've done a block. Now we've done background. Grids also make beautiful borders.
Right.
So you can see how you can do an entire quilt out of a single shape. You want more?
Well, yeah, because now you're getting into tricky stuff.
Not tricky. We just keep doing the same thing. So what I love to do with triangles is put an elongated pointed oval in there, but that's hard to say. So I'm from Minnesota, I just call these canoes.
Okay.
And I'm going to echo the canoe, because that comes in handy later. Any time I have any shape, I try and put a canoe in here, because this is a wonderful opportunity to
fill it up then. Oh,
to put a sashing design in there. And anytime I can put a sashing design in there, it makes the quilt homogeneous.
Okay.
Anytime I can repeat a design. So now I'm going to put 3 of those designs in a row here.
I could see this like for set in triangles.
Oh,
you know?
it's
beautiful.
Beautiful set in triangles. And those are kind of weird what to do
with
spots.
So what do you do with that up there?
This is echoed V as in Victor shapes.
Okay.
Goes in nicely there. And then this is a great travel line. Just run it down there.
Beautiful.
And then you can do the other side.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, you have a way to deal with circles, and you come up with a really cool tool. So let's talk about that.
You know, because circles are kind of hard.
They're hard.
They're hard. All right, so, you know, I'm going to run around the house looking for jars and lids and stuff like that, right?
Or a plate.
Until I find the right size. Not anymore.
Or this that will slip on you, right?
Or major holes, and of course I want to use pencil marks all over my quilt, don't I?
Yeah. That's how I do it.
That's the reason why I invented this tool. This tool I absolutely love because it does over 90 different circles in 1/8-inch increments. So chances are really good if you need a circle size, it's on here.
Okay.
And the holes are very large. It accommodates a chalk up to this thick, which is 1/8 of an inch.
Okay.
So
well, let's get going. Let's put
it'll
this thing on
accommodate
here.
almost anything you need. So let me take it for a test drive to show you just how well it works. So this is my fabric.
Okay.
And it works with a little
like a push pin or something.
push pin. It comes with it.
Uh-huh.
And I load it onto here like this.
If you lose it, you probably could still use a push pin, right?
Oh, it accommodates push pins.
Yeah.
So the reason why I have this here is to show you that it works all on its own. So you're not pushing anything weird into your good cutting mats.
Now, you would not probably be using a pencil on your cloth.
No.
But you'd be using that chalk.
This would be my marking tool.
Okay.
And it accommodates anything up to 1/8 of an inch. So any of your favorite marking tools, work with this.
So what do we do here?
Well, watch.
Okay.
You think it's that easy.
All
and
right.
This is something that's 1/8 of an inch larger.
Wow.
And it's see-through, it's bendable, not breakable. It also divides anything into halves, quarters, eighths, and sixteenths.
And this all ties into what we've just been doing. Just hold on, you're going to love this.
Because I've made circles now into grids.
Okay.
Because you saw how easy it was to do grids. Now circles are made into grids. But what happens if you want a circle or any shape, but it's not divided into even marks? You want something odd.
Okay.
Like a 7-pointed star.
Okay.
Just kill me now.
Okay, you're
right. So the last time I used one of these was in 3rd grade.
I was going to say 8th grade for me. I was slow.
And just kill me. So what we did was we invented these tools.
Let's put one on real quick and do it.
All right. I was hoping you'd say that.
Yeah.
So these divide things oddly. So that didn't sound right.
That's
but
okay.
You know what I mean. So I'm just going to quick do thirds. Boom, done. So it's that easy for any of these tools. So between these all, we've got you covered for any division except for prime numbers.
Okay, I don't even know what that is, so let's move on.
Because they're not divisible. So
okay, so here we go. We have something that now you can draw on for us.
So
all right.
Here's our circle. It's now gridded out. And here's our
Now we go back to our fancy little thing.
Here's our design. So what these circles are now is my grid. So I'm now looking to here for my second mark.
Gosh.
1, 2, don't hit this line. 3.
Okay.
And just get there.
What's so great there is you don't only have to deal with that one area that you've pied out or whatever, and you don't have to think about the whole thing.
Well, Alex, you do beautiful feathers. Up until recently, the only feathered wreath you could do was one design, right?
Right.
And it was hard to teach because it's like, well, you got 3 circles, one's the spine, just do her.
Right.
So now you can actually break any of my designs into segments, and it's so much easier to figure it out because
you've got the lines.
You got the lines. So there you go.
Let's quickly look at this. So in this book, Elemental Elemental Designs, you have two shapes that you're dealing with.
Right there.
This is the one, the first one we did, okay? And then now this is the second one. We're gonna show you examples at home. Are they a combination of both of these or just this?
Each segment, half of the book is these designs, half of the book
But what
is
are we
this.
looking at here?
These are related to this.
Okay, so here we go. Getting a little more fancy. Okay, now.
So that's an edge-to-edge design,
Okay.
circular.
All from just this design.
You can do an entire mid to high custom quilt design out of just one shape.
Look at that.
And that's what we're gonna do in the sewing section.
Okay.
It's very hard to do.
Love this. And then here it really is. Beautiful.
So can you see a sashing? You just mirror it. Now you've got a border. You echo it into a block. You got a block, but the whole thing, they all play well together on the playground.
Yes, they do. Okay, we're coming full circle when Sue comes back. Stick around and see what she's going to teach Ricky. You will love this. On the next Quilt Show, it's that time again. We're celebrating our 2018 TQS legend.
We are here in Winterset, Iowa, which is the home of the Bridges of Madison County, but it's also home to one of the most iconic quilters of our time, Mary Ann Vaughns.
Mary Ann has inspired quilters for decades through her publications, TV shows, and really so much more.
We have it on the bed, but I mean, you would only want to be in the dark with this quilt because it's not peaceful.
Go home with Mary Ann to see her studio where she creates. Plus, she wants to teach you how to make one of her most favorite blocks.
Learn for yourself the secrets of Mary Ann's legendary success.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here with Sue, and Sue, one of the things that I'm taking away is that if you can like perfect or just get one or two basic things, there's a multitude of things that can open up for you as a machine quilter. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at this design. Now, this is the second of the designs we talked about in the last segment. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right, and you spun that design into, tell us about this.
Well, this is just a sample of 4 of the grids that you can do with this simple shape.
So yeah, but now, everybody, it's reduced in size from the drawing, right? But it is the same design as the drawing. And just by twisting it various ways, you've created overall background grids from that one design.
Yeah, and isn't it amazing how they all look different?
Yes, and beautiful, and you didn't have to mark them. You just marked the grid.
You just have to mark the grid.
That's great. Now, marking grid is one thing. We're going to mark the circle, and we're going to do that same design in a circular pattern. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, so take us down that road.
Again, remember, this is the learning curve.
I got it.
So,
I like that.
Again, this grid looks a little bit different, but what's cool about this grid is it's going to align and this curl here, and then we're going to flip it around and this curl over here.
Okay.
So, sounds a little weird, but
so you've got a grid here. I mean, when I say grid, it's a circle, but by the time you've done your pie pieces, you've created these little areas that you're going to play in.
correct.
Okay.
So this is a circle cut into 18 pieces of pie.
Okay.
But each of these repeats takes up 2 of those pieces of pie. It'll make sense when I start to draw or
Okay.
sew.
Yep, sure.
Your brain doesn't know the difference. So I'm going to start in the middle, and we're going to sew up here, and about, I don't know, about like that-ish. You launch and you look right here at this middle section. You make a point, come back down here-ish, about same spot, come down. Now, when you cross this second circle here, look up to right there, and you can make an S curve to get there. Here's the trick. You want to align this bowl curl right on this line, like I'm taking
like
a
a
break.
chin, chin.
Okay,
Yeah,
I got it right there. All right, so now these follow the curve of this shape. 1, 2, 3.
And they're not quite touching, but almost.
Yeah. And now you're going to backtrack, and the echoing is like right up to there, sneak underneath, right up to there, sneak underneath, like that. So it's not a true echo, more of an elegant echo. And then when you come back around, this automatically flips you. When you come to this line, narrow it up a little bit, and the bowl is right on there. What happens in the middle happens in the middle, because it's free motion quilting, baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this curl and this curl align.
And they're kind of a mirror image of each other.
Correct, because this flipped you around. Echo,
And there's
echo,
the echo, and back.
And then we're going to come down here, a little S curve, backtrack, we're done. This looks now like a ribbon shape, and now we're ready to roll for number 2.
And you're there arching down.
Down,
And then let's
crossing
go up,
this line.
crossing that line.
Gonna
and
look right there.
We're going up to there, making the swirl to the middle line. Another swirl, letting it happen as it happens. I'm learning, I think. Do you think I'm learning?
I think you're right on the ball.
Yay. Can I get an A+ teacher? Yay.
You want to do the next one?
Okay, so there's the swirl. No, I don't want to do that. No, I'm learning, but I don't want to do it. Not yet.
But you see how this is exactly this,
Yes.
and this is this.
The reverse of it. Go ahead and finish that one.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and finish that one. And because what I'm seeing from this, and I know everybody watching in the audience and everybody watching at home, this is just going to be rewind, right? I mean, you're watching it unfold. It's hard to instantly comprehend, but if they were to get out some papers, especially get your tool, draw the circles, and get pencil, paper, pen. And I like what you're doing here. You're working on like an acetate or some kind of clear.
But you don't want to do this at home. You don't want, I could have sold gazillions of these in my classrooms, but I want you working on paper and keeping it, because here's the reason why. You see your progress on paper.
Oh, no, that makes some sense.
This all goes away after a while.
Sure. For the sake of showing your students, it's nice to wipe it off, but if we're doing it on paper, you get to kind of date it, and you can look back through a notebook and see what you've done.
Dang, I'm getting good.
Let's stitch. Can we stitch? I want to see this now. And you ready to see this in fabric, everybody? All right.
Got to put on the old lady glasses.
I have old man glasses, so
I'm glad you don't have old lady glasses.
I'm with you on all that. One of the things that I love about what we're about to see here is just the fact that we get to watch it unfold in reality. It's one thing to draw it, but quite another to see it happen in stitching.
But I'm doing the same thing.
You're starting up there. About 2/3 of the way, you're going to take a dive.
And I'm looking to there.
And now you're going to come down. Oh, and it just so happens that you had to make it on a smaller scale than what you were drawing. So it's itty bitty.
That's okay. It's the same thing. From here, I'm S-curving up to here.
Doing a little swoop, and you're going to touch the center line. Right. Yep. See, I learned something. And these are kind of not touching that edge. They're looping, but they're...
I'm following the edge.
Yeah.
Spike, echo the spike, echo the spike, echo the spike.
I like that your needle is staying, relatively at the same speed. It's not, it's not accelerating or decelerating.
And notice this hoop I'm using. It keeps my hand at a very relaxed angle.
And what's that called?
This is a hoop by Sharon Chamber.
And then also, while you're stitching, I'll mention that what we put underneath everything, you put a Supreme slider down.
Correct, I love it. I wouldn't sew without it. Okay, this is kind of a weird angle for me, the chair and the height, so I am sewing a little.
Welcome to TV.
I know. It's like, well, gee, that looks wonderful. But anyway.
No, it looks good. Like I said, we're all sitting here mesmerized watching.
I am too. Having a grid on a circle makes all the difference in the world.
It makes so much sense.
Because, you know, mathematically, it's all going to come out because it's all evenly split up.
And there's the echo, or the elegant echo. I like how you said that. And now you're going to echo with a little swoopy swoop back down the middle.
That's a technical term.
Swoopy swoop?
Yep, yeah. And again, as long as my curls align along the outside and the inside, what happens in the middle, your eye will not pick up on as much.
Now, I'm letting Sue continue to do this from the drawing to this because I want to say in the audience, you're starting to figure it out now, aren't you? You're starting to figure out the path, and we've only spent a few minutes at that.
Really, guys, is this really, really as difficult as it looked when you first saw it? That's why I think sashing is sexy. This is all a sashing design done in the round.
All right, are you ready to show them the reveal of the finished one?
Certainly, thank you.
Now, one of the things that I know we have to do is we still have to cut that, right? We got to stop that because you're going to bury a tail for us in a minute, right?
All right.
Actually, let's do that before you reveal.
All right.
Because that'll give them a little more, hey, wait a minute, right? So we're going to take it out. Let me cut the thread. Right?
Okay.
And then that should raise the foot and let everything come out. It's already cut.
Okay.
Yep.
Then I can tie
do
this
that
one?
Yeah,
All
sure.
right.
But let's come over here to do it. Come over to this area to tie it off. Because that way the cameras can get a little better there.
Deal.
Okay. And we know your needle is there. So you want to tell us about this. This is really very cool. Something I wasn't familiar with. So tell us about this
These
needle.
are called spiral eye needles. They were invented by a friend of mine, Pam Turner. And you won't be able to get a good close-up here, but the eye is on the side of the needle.
A notch.
A
in
notch.
The eye. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're not like the
self-threadings.
silly needles that we all hate, that the notch is on the top.
Watch this. Boom.
I can
in the
thread
eye.
my needle.
Boom. In
Thread
the
my
eye.
needle. Yep.
Do it again.
Well, it just caught.
okay.
Darn it. The joy of TV.
Yeah, that's all right. Boom. It's threaded.
I'm threaded.
Boom.
I'm
You're
threaded.
threaded.
I'm threaded.
You see how
I'm
fast
threaded.
she's doing it? So like
I'm
magic
threaded.
trick, you can't
I'm
even
threaded.
see. Yeah, every time she said,
that
I'm
cool?
threaded, you've threaded. Now do it
Yeah.
slowly. So we're in there, pull it in, and you've got both of them. And now it's time to bury.
Yep. So I'm going to tie it off first. Did you see that, everybody?
Yeah.
I tied it. Now I'm going to thread my needle, stick it in there. I took off my glasses, so I'm just winging it to where that knot is. There.
And then trim it. And
So,
that is in there forever.
With my glasses on, I can knot
Woohoo.
about the same speed.
Woohoo.
Yeah,
All right, very good. All right, so here's the big reveal. 1, 2,
Two,
3,
three.
boom. Everybody take a look at that. Yay, yay. And while this is what you just showed us, it's a beautiful, beautiful design. You've given some emphasis to the center, but just share a little bit about this outside grid.
Oh,
Yeah.
The outside grid is from my books, Philharmonics. It's called Circle Dance.
Isn't that fun? And I guess you drew the grid,
Yes,
and then from there you just stitched it like we did on the larger one.
correct.
Alex, yes, come look at it. Get in there, look at that.
Beautiful.
But this is the back side, guys.
What?
Really?
I just noticed that.
Well, let's flip it
So
over.
a second reveal.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And that's what you were doing there. This is beautiful.
All right, so briefly, I want you to tell everybody, because we were talking in the break, about how you can use your tool even for free motion, right? I mean, long arm, on the long arm.
Tool, yeah, this tool actually works on a long arm as well. If this was stretched
hold it.
between the rails.
All right, I'm going to be the rails.
Thank
so
you.
I'll be the rails.
You take
I'll
your
be the quilter.
you take your corsage pin, go in through the top, and I call this the rubber disc of happiness because you just have to impale it. Think of it like an earring backer.
Okay.
Okay.
Like that. snug it up tight, and these spin.
And now you can use that as your free motion.
Okay, I don't get it. Explain it a little bit more.
Where's the needle? Where's the needle? Show her where the machine
Where's the
needle is.
machine needle?
The machine head is away. You don't need the extended base or anything.
Okay.
You can mark anywhere on along your.
But you're saying you can mark your grid with this.
Correct.
Like you can mark here, Alex. Mark this on your long arm because
And then
you put
fill
it
it
in,
in.
and then fill it in.
You don't need to use your extended base at all.
Got it.
This rubber disc does it for you.
Woohoo! That's
Yeah.
fabulous. And I want to remind everybody about your new tools, right? So those are available at your website.
Yes.
Yes. And what is your website?
SueHeinz.com.
SueHeinz.com. H-E-I-N-Z.
Just like the ketchup.
Very good. And look at this. Look, everyone, what you
wow.
can do if you just take Sue's basic principles. I just love this. I love seeing all of the designs and everything that you've put into this, and it's really inspirational.
Thank you.
And they can learn it from your books and take classes from
Right,
you as
because
well.
you travel, right?
All over the country.
That's
Awesome.
wonderful.
Awesome.
It's been great.
Thank you so much for coming today. You really broke it down, and your work is bueno.
Thank you.
Bueno.
How did you guys feel about it today? Yeah? I loved it.
Yeah.
One shape, make miracles.
And hey, Ricky, thank you for your binding technique. I'm going to give that a try.
Good, I hope so.
Yeah, no handwork, all machine.
right.
Woohoo. And thank you for joining us today. It's always fun at the Quilt Show. And remember, it's a new day every day.
That's right.
Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss the after set. I understand, Sue, that 4th of July is a big deal with your family, and it is for our family, but as we talked, you do something really unusual. Tell us about it.
It has become bigger over the years, yes. We do stupid stuff on the 4th of July. We plan over Easter dinner. We call it the committee.
There you go.
The committee is my husband, my 2 son-in-laws, and my 2 daughters. And we pick a theme. The theme can be anything from Star Wars to The Amazing Race.
So what was last year, for example?
Last year was Sorry, the board game.
The board game?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
did people have to come dressed up like Sorry figures or Sorry board pieces?
They were the game pieces.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah.
And then what did you do? Did you play the game?
It's just my husband's immediate family. He comes from a family of 6 children.
Oh.
And so it's 20, 25 people that come. So it's a good thing we have a big backyard.
So what do you mean you played Sorry in the backyard? How'd you do that?
Well, we know this gentleman who borrowed the chalking apparatus that you chalk football fields with.
Oh,
yeah.
sure. And so you literally drew the board in the backyard and played the game.
Painted it.
It's like when we see people playing chess with live humans and horses and stuff. It's that kind of
Yes,
thing.
it was about 50 feet square.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
so much fun.
So then what was the
Our
theme?
poor neighbors.
What was
Yeah.
the theme when it was, did you Disney one year or something like that? Okay, so like what was the goal on that one?
We usually have a relay course.
Okay.
9 stations is usually typical. The intent is Kodak moments, catching our family doing stupid stuff.
Well, happy times and happy memories. That's really what it's all about.
Yes.
And I can only
Yeah.
imagine that this grows every year, and it's like you're always trying to top what happened the year before. And
It's expected, yes. And we keep it a secret. is they try and pry it out of us what the theme will be. So, and they're very, very adept at cheating.
Oh, yeah, well.
Extremely
When
good
do you
at
tell them
cheating.
what the theme is? Like a week before or a month before?
No, they're good during game cheating.
When do they get to know their theme? When do they get to know what to dress up like?
About a week before.
Oh my gosh.
And then during game, they cheat.
Well, sure, that sounds right to me.
That sounds like a good family activity. Listen, thank you so much for sharing your stories with us, and thank you so much for all you shared today.
It's been an honor to be here. Thank you.